Hello. Here it is Thursday again. Didn't that just happen 7 days ago? It's time for my weekly Weight Watchers weigh-in. So, how did I do this week? I have a couple of things that I'm going to share with you after I share my weight that will hopefully shed a little light on why I had the results that I did. Last Thursday, I weighed in at 124.2. Now, was it what I wanted to weigh? No, it was a little bit more. I was hoping to be in the 123 pound range, but I wasn't, so that's what I had to work with. You know, no matter what my weight is each Thursday, it does not deter me from getting on the scale the next Thursday. I realize that I have to do it, not just for y'all, and that is a big part of it, but for myself too. So when Monday rolled around, I did my midweek weigh-in, and I weighed 124.6. Now, yes, that's 4/10 more than I did Thursday. But normally on the weekend, I eat a little bit more food. And there's been many weeks where I've been up over a pound and a half to 2 pounds from what I had weighed the Thursday before. So 4/10 of a pound was manageable to me. And that's what I had to work with for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Did I do what I planned on doing? No, I didn't. I didn't do poorly, but I didn't do what I had planned to do, which was to try to end up in the 123 pound range. Because when I got on the scale this morning, I weighed 124.4. Yes, that's 2/10 more than I weighed last Thursday. And I know it's not much, but that's why I'm about to start my topic, so that you'll understand why I'm a little disappointed in that 2/10 of a pound gain for the week. So let's get started with my topic. I do want to explain something first. Normally, I pick out my topics weeks ahead of time. I go ahead and do my thumbnails. I do what I believe is the best thing, not just for myself, but for my viewers, so that you will enjoy whatever my content is each week. And this week, I had a completely different subject picked out until I got on the scale this morning and realized what I had done. Because there was a specific reason or reasons that I feel like I gained 2/10 of a pound instead of losing any. And what the reason was is I gave in to stress. So that's my topic for today, giving in to stress. Now, I feel like I've just eaten some words because normally I always say stress does not defeat me. Unless I am going through grief or something monumental, I do not let stress get the better of me. But this week, I did. And so I'm going to go into just a little bit of explanation of why it did. I was determined on Monday to get at least 4/10 of a pound off. I wanted to at least get down to 124 even. I knew it was attainable because I've done it before. In 3 days, I've lost a half a pound several times. And then I began to go through some stressful situations. And for some of it, it was of my own making. I have put off a job that has been hovering over me ever since I got back from Utah. And now it has come time to where I have to pay the piper. I have to get this job done. Now, normally, I feel like that this is a positive thing, that I have purpose in life, even at age 68. Because you see, I know several people that when they get a certain age, they feel like they don't have responsibility anymore. And instead of it being a positive thing in their lives, they sort of give up. Or with more than one person, I've seen them die at an earlier age than I feel like they would have had they not just given up and decided they didn't have to have a purpose in life. I have several purposes in life. This YouTube channel is one of my big purposes. My devotion to my church and God is a very big purpose in my life. And also, Papa and I have 3 LLCs. That is another big purpose in my life. I have to control certain things about how the money flows, stuff that I don't want to go into detail about. But I do have a job that I still do, even though I don't get paid for it anymore. I still do bookwork. So this week I was doing this job that I volunteered for, and I put it off for over 2 weeks because I've been back from Utah now for more than 2 weeks, and I still had not done this thing I volunteered for. Well, push came to shove, and I've got a meeting tonight, and I had to do it. And starting on Tuesday, that's when I was determined to get it done. Well, every time I begin to do something else stepped in the way. So yesterday, I really was getting into a time crunch. And what happened? Where was the stress that I'm talking about in my topic? Well, the first thing that happened when I finally sat down and was determined to get this job done, I opened up my favorite computer. It's my office computer, my work computer. You see, I'm very fortunate. I have 2 laptops. I have the laptop that I do these videos on. That's what I edit and post my videos. And then I have another laptop that I do all my work-related jobs on. So I got that laptop out and opened it up and noticed right off the bat something wasn't right with it. And I didn't understand to begin with what it was. Eventually I did. When I began to move the lid or the screen, it began to crackle. And I realized that the hinge had been compromised on the lid or the screen of that laptop. And the more I tried to fix it, the worse it got. So, for the next hour to hour and a half, I was trying my best to transfer as much of the information that was on that laptop to an external hard drive. And after, an hour, hour and a half, I felt like, okay, this is the best I can do for now. I could not turn the computer off because every time I tried to close the lid, it just got worse and worse, and I finally just had to stop. Okay, that's stressful. And I was pretty stressed by the time I got off that computer and got on the one that I'm editing this video on today. Luckily, thank you, Lord, I had another laptop where I could do it. But here I already was an hour and a half behind of what my time frame was. I got on, I was able to start the process. I had to move some my Microsoft Office on this computer, which that's not hard to do, but I still had to do it. And I was able to do that. I had to take some pictures. I sat down and worked for pretty diligently for 45 minutes. And then the electricity went off. Well, the job that I've promised to do involves printing, and without electricity, you can't print. I didn't necessarily need the internet because I could have hooked this laptop directly into that printer, but I had to have electricity to run the printer. So that was sort of what topped it all off. I worked and did what I could for the next 45 minutes to an hour, thinking the electricity would come back on. It did not, and finally I was getting so frustrated that I saved what I had worked on and turned the computer off. I had another errand that I needed to run yesterday afternoon by going to Walgreens, so I decided to get away from the house and do that. By the time I got back, which was about an hour and a half later, luckily for me, the electricity was back on. Unluckily for me, I only had about an hour left to where I needed to be at church for our prayer time. I am not saying, oh, I had to go for a prayer meeting. That's not it. I have a responsibility, and it's a responsibility that I want to have because that is something so important in my life. And because I only had a little over an hour, I was only able to get on the computer for about 30 to 45 minutes. Then I had to prepare for church, and then I left. Well, I got back at about 6:30 and was going to eat a quick supper and then get back on the computer. And while I was eating supper, the electricity went off again. Not once, but twice. So I knew then that my stress level was about right here, and I was not going to be able to attempt to finish the project that I need to finish by 5 o'clock this afternoon. But how did I respond to it? Well, not the way that I normally do. I normally think of better ways to handle stress. And because of the circumstances yesterday, I didn't. I grabbed a full-size bag of Lay's potato chips and ate about 4 servings of it. Well, each serving is 5 to 6 points, which is not bad. But when you eat 4 servings, that's 24 points. And that's probably what I had after I finished supper last night. The evening before I'm about to weigh. I knew I'd had a relatively good Monday, Tuesday, and the first part of Wednesday. And within 30 minutes, I blew it. Now, why am I saying all this? I am saying it to make you understand that I'm not perfect. You know, as far as I know, the only person that ever lived on this earth that was perfect is now in heaven. I strive to be like him. I strive to, not just in my faith walk, but in all areas of my life. And so one of the areas of my life is weight loss or maintenance. And that has always been my goal, is to remember what I've learned. And I didn't last night. I did not learn. I let stress get the best of me. Now, why am I saying all this negative stuff? Oh, by the way, would you put down in the comments times that you have fell prey to stress? Because I know we all do it. We would not have a weight problem. We would not be former or current bingers if we didn't fall prey to stress occasionally. It's not always just we want to do what we want to do. We all live stressful lives, and it's how we react to that stress that makes the difference. And normally, when I have stress that is not grief related, I'm able to control it with plans I've made ahead of time, like other foods that are in my house, or taking myself out of the situation, going outside to where I'm not anywhere close to the kitchen. All of these things help me to get through my stressful situations most of the time. And I didn't let that happen yesterday. But this morning, when I got on the scale and realized I had gained 0.2 of a pound, because you see, I really thought that I was going to get under that 124 pounds. I was hoping to get to 124, but I really thought that I was going to get under it. And I possibly would have, had it not been for that 20 minutes of binge time last night, because I allowed my feelings, my emotions to control myself. Oh, I'm disappointed in myself that it happened. But I share it with you to let you know that this is how you can respond to it. This morning, when I got off the scale, I was more determined than ever to not let that happen. To cover things, to make sure that if I go through some more stress, which I'm sure that I will, because that job is still hanging over my head, and I've got a lot that has to be done before 5 o'clock today. So I know there's going to be some stressful situations this afternoon, but I'm not, and I say this with all conviction and belief, I'm not going to fall prey. I'm not going to give in to that stress like I did yesterday. I will get up and go outside and walk for 30 minutes before I do that again today. And that's what we need. We need to have a plan. So what is your plan? How do you respond to stressful situations? Especially those of you out there, which I know there's lots that watch my channel that have been successful for years on either Weight Watchers or a reasonable weight loss program. You know, I am so thankful that these 9 years, if they haven't taught me anything, they've taught me ways and things I can do to combat when things happen like they did yesterday. You know, they still happen. Unfortunately, they still happen, but they always give me more determination to do better during this next week. I don't know how much I will weigh next Thursday, but I can promise you this. I'm not going to binge. I am not going to binge, at least on Lay's potato chips again. There may be another binge that happens, but it's not going to be Lay's potato chips because I'm not going to buy any more of them. And right now, all I have is maybe 1 serving left. So if that gets eaten, it won't be but 5 or 6 points that I will, instead of 24 points like I did within 20 minutes. Now, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, I would hope that you would consider subscribing because I'm going to tell it like it is. For any of you that have watched me over these years, you know that. I don't hold back things. I try to be encouraging. That's my main purpose for this channel. But you see, even in a stressful situation like I had yesterday, I still am able to find encouragement from it because I know that I won't keep failing in those stressful situations. So be a subscriber if you're not already. Click that notification bell and you'll get all of my videos. And leave a comment below, please. Share with me your successes in dealing with stress. And last but not least, if you know of anyone that could benefit from this or any of my videos, please share. I really want to be a help toward those struggling like I have. Like I have for most of my life. I still struggle, but I have tools that I can use that make the struggles a lot less. God bless each and every one of you. Goodbye.